It's your heart. Everyone lets you down, lets you down, lets you down. Everyone lets you down, they all come around. Don't you let it get you down, get you down, get you down. Don't you let it get you down, they all come around.
All right, welcome to the East Coast Countdown Online. I'm Jimmie Inch. I'm here at the Seahorse Tavern in Halifax with Norma MacDonald for the CD release party for her sophomore CD, Forest for the Trees. Norm, congrats on the
Thank you.
second CD.
Glad to finally have it done.
I should say, Norm and I go way back to our teenage years, waiting tables and Festival on the Bay.
And jazz hands.
And crawling around the pubs for a while in the 90s. But she's gone on to bigger and better things with her second CD. I guess, has there been nights in the studio when you didn't know when this day was ever going to get here? Or?
This CD took a really, really long time to do. And for no really good reason, just maybe I think it's my poor organizational skills. Yeah. But we started it 2 summers ago. So it's been a year and a half in the works.
Okay, when you say we, like I know last time we talked about the last album, you had a really good team that you worked on with, and I think you used a lot of the same people on this one.
Yeah, it was Charles Austin and I, again, that produced this one.
Charles has to be on every CD in
Charles
Halifax.
he's running a public service for Halifax musicians. The studio, like 90% of the albums made in Halifax would not be possible without Charles.
I'd say there's a good percentage that come into the East Coast Countdown submission desk that came from Charles.
Yeah. No,
So anyway,
he's a gem.
So you and Charles kind of started the whole thing?
Yeah, and I mean, but I've had like a lot of really good players that I'm lucky to have playing with me that I've had for years, like Adam Fine, that plays in Josephilio, plays bass with me. Dale Murray plays on the record, that is now a member of Cuff the Duke and plays with Hayden's band, has been touring all over North America, so we get to grab him whenever he's home. And Kev Corbett plays with me as well, and Keith Mullins on drums.
So how did the process go? Like when you guys kind of started this whole thing, did you say, okay, did you have a certain amount of, say, songs on the shelf after the last one that you didn't maybe use?
I did. Yeah, actually the first song on the record, A Little Longer, was a song that was supposed to be on the last record, and I didn't end up recording it because I ran out of money. Because that happens.
Which is primarily the reason that things get left off CDs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no room for a 12th song on this CD.
Yeah.
But it's funny now to look back and see that one got shelved, because I think out of the 2 records, that song is probably my favorite song.
Yeah, it's a really great song. I was listening to it
why,
on the way in.
I don't know why we ended up canning it for the last one, but I'm really happy that we got to include it on this one. And so when we started recording this one, probably only like a handful of the songs were done,
yeah. But
I was so eager just to get back in the studio that I kind of started the process rolling and got the band together, rehearsals, and started recording bed tracks. And then I started, where we had already started, I really started pushing myself to write more, and I think I work better if I know I have a deadline.
So did that's what I was going to ask. Did you kind of like say have 1 or 2 songs that you wanted to start with, and then say, okay, you pretty much sat down and wrote the rest of the record?
A good chunk of that, yeah. I would say we started with maybe about 4 or 5, maybe 4 songs, and then I basically had to make myself do the rest of the record. And this one too, I'd never tried this before, but there was some songs where I only had the music written and there was no lyrics. They only had like a line here or there, and we went in and recorded the bed tracks and started putting other stuff on top of it, even with no lyrics written.
Right.
But it was really good because I got to take the songs home in a mostly finished form and then get to listen to them, and I got a really good feel of what the mood of the song was, and it really kind of encouraged the lyrics to go more in that direction.
And that's what I was going to ask you, like I know like you do a lot of solo shows and you do some band shows as well, like to take a song, and I'm assuming you primarily write on the guitar, to take a song from that to, okay, you get to go on stage tonight, we're going to hear like full band. How is it when you hear the song go from that to what we're going to get tonight? And do you have a preference on which version that you do?
It depends on the song. A lot of like the songs that I had in my head that I primarily wanted to be just solo songs. They're just solo songs on the record mostly anyway.
Okay.
But usually when I write, I kind of have an idea like I want this to be a full band song. I don't always have the luxury of getting to play with a full band. So
is it a luxury? Is it a treat when you get to do it?
Yeah, it is. Mine's a lot easier to play a solo show.
A lot of people don't realize that it's really, as a songwriter, number one, it's kind of like they say you're walking in the street naked when you come to somebody and say, okay, here's my new song, and here I want you to hear it, let alone go sing it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but it's Yeah, but as far as like when you're playing solo, that you can just come in and you plug in your guitar and you start singing. It's great. But the organization of doing this, like tonight, we're mostly a 5-piece for a few songs, a 6-piece. So it's been a while since I've worked with a band that big, and but it's great, and I'm so happy with the way everything's sounding.
Can you tell us a little bit about the studio process? Did you guys a lot of times did you multi-track stuff, or did you have the opportunity to maybe sit down all together and get some stuff off the floor, or how did the process go?
No, pretty much everything was multi-track. Well, the drums and the bass were recorded together for everything, and I would just be in the sound booth with acoustic guitar and ghost track vocals going like blah blah. Like, because a lot of it didn't have lyrics, so I just was,
apples, oranges.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So. But pretty much everything else would be multi-track.
How about the arranging? Like, there's a lot of great harmonies on here. I mean, a lot of the players you work with have been around for a long time. They know their stuff. Do they just kind of just jump in? And,
pretty much, yeah. There's some things that either Charles or I would be like, okay, we want you to come in and do this. But the people that I have playing on the record are so amazing. They could just walk in and be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and it would be amazing from the first off. Like this song, Pulling on a Thread here, Phil Sidor, who's going to be playing accordion tonight and play some accordion on the record, but he walked in he plays electric guitar on that song, and he just walked in and just pulled off this amazing electric guitar part in like 2 takes, and we were pretty happy with that. So
now Norma's first solo CD was Nothing Is Where It Was, and not only was the CD great, the artwork and the photography was great. So I said to Norma earlier, she's going to have a lot of disappointed, especially male fans. Here's the CD this time, and I think it looks great. Don't get me wrong. And so when I opened it, I said, "Wow, no Norma." And Norma's the only person I know in the music scene who gets younger looking every year, as opposed to the rest of us. So I was just curious, how did that decision come about? And are me and your mother the only two who don't like it?
My mom gave me an earful about it. I was like, you know what I look like? What do you picture me for?
She's here tonight. I'm going to talk to her.
She is here. Yeah. But it's, I don't know. I just wanted to go with
the website will have all
that. The website will have all that kind of stuff. I think CD packaging is becoming kind of more and more obsolete. Like people don't hang on to their CD packaging. So I wanted to have something simple, but yet obviously attractive.
It looks great. Who did the artwork?
Dan Ledwell did it. Who plays in In-Flight Safety, has his own fantastic solo record, and is playing keyboards with me tonight.
Nice.
So yeah.
Very cool. So speaking of the website, are people going to be able to pick it up on the site?
Yeah, through CD Baby and through iTunes.
And I know you can get it here in Halifax, I believe you said.
You can get it here in Halifax at any of the CD Plus locations, and hopefully elsewhere soon. But yeah, the website will have a link to it online.
Perfect. All right, so make sure you check it out. Brand new from Norma MacDonald, The Forest for the Trees. Check out normamacdonald.com, or you can check out her MySpace page. I believe it's myspace.com/Norma MacDonald.
It is.
And for other great Atlantic Canadian music, check out eastcoastcountdown.com. We go way back. I'm Jimmie Inch. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Everyone let you down, let you down, let you down. Everyone let you down, they don't come around. Don't you let it get you down, get you down, get you down. Don't you let it get you down, they won't come around. I've been where you are, so deep in the darkness that you can see the stars, counting your stars, but don't ever mind what they say. It's your